Hello there. I want to talk to you about a subject that I have a bit with different friends that's very dear to me. It's about the Anima Mundi. It is a Latin term for soul of the world. Before I even heard of it, I had this saying that was developing over years, which is there is magic in the mundane or through the mundane. Then I realized it wasn't really mundane, so there is magic in the seemingly mundane. And then I stumbled upon the term Anima Mundi, or soul of the world. There's a lot of depth to this concept, but it is drawing attention to the details of the world, in that an artist, say, will take the medium of drawing. They are noticing very small details to recreate them. So when they go out into, say, outside into the autumn world. At one point, I was looking at a picture of autumn, and I realized there was only three techniques required to create an entire scene of trees, leaves on the ground, and it was just like an amazing epiphany. Just to see three or four core techniques is all that is needed to create such beauty, right? Obviously, you have other things like color composition and just you allow your body to just do art by itself a lot of times, and sometimes it does things that you don't even understand how it happened, right? Um, so that's, yeah, soul of the world. There's also this correlation with the details. So you might know this, that the atoms in like of cells in a body, they mimic the same thing, the cosmos. So the micro and the macro have correlation. So um, there's this process in atoms where people, they still don't really know what's going on in atoms. Like they teach you atoms in school, but in the deeper science books, they still tell you they don't really know what's actually happening. So an electron, I think my brother was telling me about this book, that an electron might go all the way around in an atom around the nucleus or whatever. They don't know what's actually going on. It might be moving around. It might be teleporting. And the same thing about stars. They might be moving around and teleporting, uh, and light years jumps, whatever. People, they don't even know with that. Um, so this world truly is more of a mystery than we claim it to be. Knowledge is very limited in understanding what this whatever on in this world, whatever it all is. Uh, so the Anima Mundi has that going on with it, and it kind of like shows you that if you pay attention to the details, you can master a sort of technique, maybe even magic. Musicians are like this, in that I've played guitar and drums for about 30 years. And so you, something may seem impossible, but with just an hour to 4 hours of time, which feels a lot longer when you're actually doing it, but it's not that long objectively, you can learn a new technique. And with only maybe 80 techniques or 88 techniques, you can appear to be the best drummer in the world, which is a dumb phrase, but you can appear to be one of the best drummers in the world if you were to learn 80 to 88 techniques. Um, I don't know why I have those numbers and specifics, but it's just to kind of give you an idea that it doesn't take that much time to get good at something. Um, and then there's this magic of what happens when you learn a technique on drums, something that seemed impossible, something in your mind or just energy clicks, and all of a sudden you understand something that you didn't understand. It's that epiphany, or by doing something so many times, you see a new way of doing something, right? And it originally seemed boring, but then by the time you get through training and exercise, all of a sudden it becomes fascinating and interesting. Fighters do this. Boxers. if you've ever tried to learn boxing, I have a friend who's fascinated in it more so than I was, but I enjoyed learning from him. How people have proper form and how to actually fight, it is incredibly complicated. Just the same way that musicians try to learn form and technique as well. So you get the idea of what I'm saying. So a programming version of this, like a negative, not negative, an unbalanced sort of controlling energy version of the Anima Mundi would be the devil is in the details. The way I would say it in a balancing way is there are keys of the next golden age inside every single one of us. And if we pay attention to our eccentricities and our special abilities, what they call superpowers, I think we all have these superpowers. They are fantastic, magical, amazing phenomenons that can lead to synchronicities and world expansions and building worlds and opening of consciousness. And it's also not that special because everyone has it. Now, there is a subject that has come up before in mind about NPCs, which is non-player characters. It comes from it's a terminology from video games. I kind of debate that non-player characters are not people who don't have these original thoughts and just seem to kind of go along with everything. I think that is kind of something that is learned, that is maybe a virus, and it isn't always that way, and maybe can't if it can be learned, it can be unlearned. I kind of am in contention with the idea that people are NPCs. I think that there's more to it, and it doesn't always have to be that way. We can change the paradigm. That's another subject. I would like to talk about my contention with the concept of NPCs and how even programmers can be in automatic pilot behavior. But yeah, programmers of games, which is what NPCs comes from, video games, the term. So we're back on track here. These are complicated subjects, I know. The Anima Mundi is beautiful because if you can draw attention to the soul of the world through the details, how the beauty of these like details, the unknown, you're more likely to have sort of a consciousness, synchronicity, explosion, dimensional blur, ripple, creator effect on your audience in a healthy way. And it's best to not treat them like they are beneath you, but if you treat them like they are you, which is way more responsible, it's not patronizing, you're sharing your vulnerability, you're sharing the mysteries of the world with them. You're showing them what fascinates you about what you don't know, rather than claiming to be an expert on this reality, because the deepest, brilliant scientists, artists, philosophers, they show you what they don't know and what excites them about the mysteries of this world, right? Rather than claiming a flag in it as in territory, or being the one that solely gets the perks, right? There's no control mechanisms in it. You're trusting the viewers to have these same sort of inspiring bursts and to use such responsibly and creatively, right? So that's my video about the Anima Mundi. There's probably something I'm leaving out. I always do. There's so much to explore and get excited about. But yeah, I think it's fascinating how when we learn these little techniques, why were we given these hands to do such amazing things, right? It was obviously meant to do something. Anyway, I hope we really do pay attention to the soul of the world so that we do get to the next golden age sooner than later. Hopefully it's not centuries, and maybe it's happening right now, and we just have to pay attention to the little details. Yeah. Have a lovely day.